Hi, it's Allie with Seattle Coffee Gear, and today we're talking about brewer scales. This one in particular that we're referring to is the Acaia Pearl. Their first edition was actually a white pearl. This is the black pearl. It is a really awesome scale. It basically goes above and beyond everything you need in like a traditional kitchen scale and things like that. Some of the reason behind it is they really wanted to gear it towards baristas and basically make everything you need all kind of built into one. So it has a lot of different functions, features, things like that. So right now, I'm cycling through a couple of different ones. This is kind of your basic weighing function. I have it set in grams, and it actually goes to the 10th of a gram. So that's really useful when you're talking about coffee since it's such small quantities. You can also do ounces by holding down this tear button. So now it's switched into ounces. So if you're weighing whole bean coffee or something at a coffee shop or just in your house and you're trying to be more particular, also good for baking. So what I mostly operate in is grams for brewed coffee though. So it has that function, which is great for drip whenever you're just kind of measuring out how much beans you're going to do. I always take the lid of my grinder, kind of put it there and tear it out, and then just add your beans. So what's nice also about this, pretty precise. So if you watch, it's pretty exact. Only a few beans can kind of make a difference. So that's going to help you get really precise with your coffee. So you can get right down to that 10th. So that is kind of the first and most basic function. A lot of coffee shops and a lot of people use that. My favorite function is actually the next function over. Hold that power button down. Perfect. So now you see it kind of went over to two different sides of the screen. So here we have time. So that is your minute. These are your seconds. And then that is also your weight. Now it stops showing you the 10th of the gram because it's assuming that you're doing a larger quantity. So this is a really great thing to do if you're using it for pour over or if you're planning to do like a Chemex or something like of a larger quantity. All you have to do is tear that out, start your timer. It's gonna start to count up and then weigh as you pour. Really useful feature whenever you're trying to time your brew. Perfect. So now we're into the other function that it has, which is auto tare. This will be really useful if you're using it in conjunction with an espresso machine. This basically assumes that whatever you put on it first is going to be kind of your holder of your coffee. So this, for example, I'm going to place it here. It's going to weigh it and then tare it. So now that blinking, flashing light has disappeared. So it lets me know that it's ready to go into the weighing function. Put in the coffee, take it off, and it's ready to go into the next auto feature. It does have two more features. These are actually turned off inside of this particular model right now, but it will do an espresso function. It'll also do a really cool one called like a brew function. So that will actually kind of help you walk through your brewing with telling you, okay, place your cup. You place your cup, it tears, place your filter, it tears, and then kind of walks you through the whole process. And then at the end, it tells you your time and your weight. So that's a cool one to check out if that sounds interesting to you. So this scale is actually susceptible to evaporation as well. So you can actually see if you blow on it, it'll pick that up. So really sensitive, responsive up to 20 milliseconds, which is pretty quick. So this particular scale has a lot of feature built in already, but one added feature is that these actually all connect to apps. They have 4 different apps right now that connect to it. The one that I most frequently use is called the Acaia app, and it basically helps you chart all of your different brews. So you can tell it, you know, today I'm brewing a Chemex. I would like it to be this amount of time, and it's actually pretty neat. So the app is actually what I have pulled up now. So essentially right now I have it set to the brewing, kind of showing it that I'm doing a pour over. So it has the tare button here, so if I were to place a glass on the scale, it reflects both on there and here on the phone. Hit tare, and then it's tared out. It also has different settings, so you can go to basically the different brewing prints, and you know, it's telling you kind of what it wants to do here, what you can do. So you can name your scale if you want. This is fine, I'm just going to leave it that. Basically, this is your brewing chart. So brewing tool, kind of go through here and choose whatever you want. Some of this stuff I've never even tried before, but I bet it is super awesome. I'm going to go into Chemex because that's what I usually do at home. And then you also have this really neat function where you can save all the different beans that you purchase. So actually, if you get this really nice single origin or this cool blend, you can save it in here, rate it, and so next time you go to buy coffee, you know what you liked and what you didn't. So we're doing my coffee bean because that's the only one I have saved at the moment. You can also choose ratio. 1 to 15 is fine. You can record your grind, time that you want to brew, and it actually breaks it down here. I don't use this feature as much, but more people who are really, really precise with their coffee would really like it. So you can up that, change that. Usually I do 3 count to let me know when to start pouring. First pour for about 10 seconds is usually right. Bloom for 30, and then second pour I usually do a little bit longer. So I'm going to go to 2 minutes here, and then I'm going to count for 1 minute to let it drip. Go back. So basically then you're good to go here. You've set up your temperature, your time, all of those things. Add your coffee in, and then basically tell it, this is how much beans I'm using, check. And then it adds it there and tells you what your output of your ratio should be. So after that, you can tare it out, and it'll still save that bean quantity and tell you how much, and hit next. Right now it's telling you kind of what all you can do here inside the app and what everything means. So up here it reminds you of your recipe. You actually have your brewing print here, which will tell you kind of how your progress is going along, if you're pouring a lot at once or not enough or all that stuff. So I'm going to act as if I was going to do a pour over now. So it's starting to count and kind of tell you what's going on. So I'm going to just use these beans as an example, so you can kind of see it's measuring as I add more. It'll be doing the same thing with your water, kind of measuring the flow rate. So yeah, it'll go through that and kind of tell you at what point it's where, and then when you're done, just hit done. It'll kind of show you all that, give you a whole breakdown. I take a sip, taste it, see how it came out, and then rate it to see basically if I did like this recipe, if I didn't like this recipe, which is super useful for new coffees, so I can kind of see what I like and what I don't. And then you can also do notes. So it's a really cool feature, and there are a lot more inside, but you can basically record this and kind of go back and see what worked for you and what didn't. So this is just kind of the basic views or overview of this scale. It has a lot more functionality, and I'd recommend you check it out, kind of check out the manual if you want to learn more. Thank you so much for watching. If you know more features about this scale, please comment them below, share with all of our fellow viewers. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.